everybody, I'm back. I know it's been a little bit, but it's summertime and I've been busy. So a lot of you have been sharing, your experiences with the full-size mini barrels, and some of you that are in like hotter areas were saying, hey, like they're leaking. Looked into it, decided not to use this barrel wax. It comes in these little tin pucks, right? It's this soft wax because basically it just melts when the temperature gets hot. And instead, using these beeswax pellets and melting those to seal up the barrels. But I forgot that I had the 4 mini barrels up in the attic that had these different benchmarks. And I had used the barrel wax on them. And I remembered, so I went up and I checked, and man, like a bunch leaked out. You can see that, right? I got to say I was pretty bummed because I was planning on leaving these in the mini barrels for a year, but brought them down, cleaned all that barrel wax out, put some beeswax in, and I just kept them in the office. Anyways, I've been working on a greenhouse / sunroom, and I was thinking, man, I'm gonna see if I can get these hot temperatures that some of you are dealing with, And so sealed everything up with beeswax, put them in the greenhouse. Temperatures in the day, I let them get up to between 90 and 100 in there. A couple times I let them get up to 125 on accident before I remember to open them up, but the little dowels, a lot of you were saying, hey, I can't get these dowels to stop leaking. I was able to get them to stop leaking when I had these mini barrels in the house up in my office, because it doesn't ever get above like low to mid 70s during the day. But out there, the whiskey was just like seeping out those things like crazy. So that's why I decided to do this. You can see right here where the dowel is. I inset the dowel, get that a little closer, about 3/16. I used a punch, set it down in 3/16. I melted that beeswax down inside there. You can see I've got a good amount of beeswax going all the way around the edge here. There's not really, you could see like right here and maybe right here. Right here, there's a little bit of seeping through the oak itself. I think that's normal when you're in a hotter climate, but at the top here, I'll probably have to rotate it so you can see it, but if you can look down right here, you can tell there's no wax for about ½ inch or so. I dug it out with one of these knives, and the new barrel that I melted the wax into, I just didn't melt it into there, and so that goes up like that, and it allows the contents to breathe, because as it gets hot in that greenhouse, 90 to 100 degrees, I've had it 115 in there an accident before I opened it. I think the hotter you go, more pressure builds up and it needs to breathe. So just leaving like a little, I guess it'd be like a gap between barrel staves is what I would liken it to. And it seemed to work for me. It worked pretty good. So once I started tapping in those dowels and sealing them with wax, I put them back out there in the greenhouse, and I was getting more leaking, just like the whole face of the oak was just like saturated and just like oozing out bourbon and whiskey. And I'm like, man, this, like, I was feeling bad because I know a lot of you are trying this in those hot areas, and like you're like, I can't get these things to stop leaking. Well, I decided to try what I showed you, just leaving like a little breathing space up at the top. Now I've had these out there for maybe 2 weeks now, like that. Initially I had them like right in the sun, and it was just getting too hot even for this. So I kind of got them under a shelf where they're in the shade most of the day. But the temperatures still get from probably 65 at night to up to 100 during the day. 90 to 100 is where I allow it to get in there. And I've not had an issue with leaking except, you know, like some seepage, like you could see. So I think that's, I don't know, the fix, at least what I found so far, and I wanted to share that with you, is set that dowel in maybe 3/16 below the surface of your lid. Just melt some wax. I would melt wax, let it cool. I would press it with my finger, put some more wax in, melt it again, just to make sure it was sealed up. And just make sure you leave, you know, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch on this surface between the metal bain-marie and your oak lid with no wax, so it can breathe if you're in a hot climate. Now, if you're keeping these in your house like I did for a while, I don't think you have to worry about that. It wasn't an issue for me. But if you're getting 90+ degrees, you're probably going to need to do that. That's what I had to do. So far, it's working. So we'll see. Yeah, so I feel your pain with leaking because, yeah, oh well, live and learn, right? Okay, I think next video I'm going to compare some of these guys with some, I'm going to compare these with some Stag, and these, the bonded and the single barrel, probably with some E.H. Taylor small batch. And I just kind of wanted to see, could I get a cheaper bottle of Buffalo Trace bourbon to kind of get close to something that's allocated and hard to get for a lot of us. So stay tuned for that.